Getting ready to go live. Stream is on. We are live! Alright, hello, and, nope, no, we're good. Yep, there we go. Hello, and welcome to IPLCast 72, coming to you from the properly senior culling winter of Western Sydney. And also from the not doing so well, London-y London.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Just to let you guys know, I am okay.
We can see her. We can see her. There's a visual.
Yep.
We are all good. I repeat, we are all good. We're all good, right? And joining me as well from this side of Western Sydney is Megan.
Hello.
Down there.
Hey. Well, technically, I'm pointing the wrong way.
That way. All right. So it's been 4 weeks. We're a little rusty again. It hasn't been 4 weeks. Yeah, it's been 4 weeks.
It has.
Over 4 weeks.
It's been 4 weeks. That's the bad news. The good news is there wasn't much to report on during that interim anyway. It's been quite the slow news stream for Pokemon news in general.
And I've got this many eggs to hatch, just to go a little bit off topic.
Oh boy, have fun with that. I am like slowly getting back into the swing of things. I'm just doing my trophy run on Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at the moment, and I'm constantly being the geek that I am. I'm constantly watching out for any possible Pokemon news on the Switch. Because if that sucker happens while I'm in Japan, I am freaking getting a Switch.
We have a Switch.
No, I mean if a main series Pokemon game comes out on the Switch.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we would need to.
A second Switch is necessary. It's Nessa. It's totally Nessa.
Necessarily.
Yep. It will become mandatory to have the second Switch, and only in that scenario. So far, one Switch is good. We are good with one Switch. The moment Pokemon comes around, two Switch required.
Yeah.
And that would mean I would have to have the Switch too.
That pretty much seals the deal at that point. If they announce a main series Pokemon game on the Switch, that seals the deal. So yeah, it's not been that busy for Pokemon. There was Adventure Week. We went through Adventure Week. That was okay, I think. How was Adventure Week? Did anybody catch anything on Adventure Week?
I didn't. I was busy with other stuff.
I don't think I played.
Oh, you did. You caught a. Oh, hold on. No, you didn't. Wait, who caught a Geodude?
Oh no, we did play that one time. I think I got Nomanite.
Oh yeah, you got a Nomanite. You and Chris.
Yeah.
You and Chris were catching stuff. Meanwhile, I was too busy geocaching. Doing my thing. So yeah,
geocaching.
It's been pretty good. The week has been a good week for geocaching. Though I have not found anything. I have local government permission now. I ended up representing geocaching in general. That was not. Well, I mean, it was nerve-wracking, but it got good. Anyway, let's go to the Pokemon stuff. Let's talk about Magikarp for a bit.
Aye.
Magikarp song is now in English. The Magikarp song, released in Japanese almost a year ago, has finally been given an official English dub. If you want to hear a small child sing about how terrible Magikarp is, the video is up on YouTube.
Magikarp's okay.
Magikarp's alright until you...
But the song is about how terrible it is.
I know, but I mean, Magikarp is still number one in her heart, right? At failing.
Yeah, but it's still about how terrible it is.
That's true, but it's about how lovely it is that it's so terrible.
Well, Magikarp does evolve into a Gyarados once you actually get to that certain level,
Yeah,
so...
that got lampshaded, and I was like, I think they mentioned one line of it evolving into Gyarados and becoming ultra strong, and then proceeded to say, "That's your only good point." So it's a pretty hurtful, Magikarpophobic song. Am I saying that right?
It's very rude to Magikarp.
It's very rude to Magikarp. They're triggered. They're very triggered. I think I can hear them splashing about it. Alright, so now that we've talked about Magikarp and I've insulted now that I've insulted the dozens of Magikarp fans around the world, let's talk about the next thing that's come up. It's Pokemon is releasing weird things, man.
Magikarp Jump, a new mobile game, has been released worldwide, starring everyone's favorite not Gyarados. Called Magikarp Jump, the game is about training Magikarp to be the best jumpers before they retire, evolve, explode, or get eaten by a Pidgeotto. Now to Gino with more details.
Woohoo! Magikarp Jump!
I know a certain someone that has that game too.
Does her name start with V?
Yes.
Okay. So Magikarp Jump it's taking care of Magikarp,
It's a
but
thing
also
that exists.
it's a thing that exists. I am currently trying to level up my Magikarp to maximum level at this point. I am not playing as hard a Magikarp game as I think I should be, considering I think the hardcore Magikarp game people are just going all out on this one. There is no
Magikarp
multiplayer.
Jump is serious business.
I don't think I've encountered Magikarp multiplayer, but that would be cool if I could face off against other Magikarp. And it's basically like you're competing with NPCs to see how far your Magikarp can jump. And so the primary statistic here, if you can see on my lady Magikarp named Mash, it's a thing called Jump Power. There is a Piplup there to provide extra training, and I'm trying to see if my old Magikarp Disappointment is going to show up. No. So part of the fun of this, which is pretty much part of the fun of
Any game.
Well, not any game, but the Pokemon games in general, is because you can name stuff, you can really get away with it.
It doesn't have a profanity filter.
No, it doesn't, which is why I can have my Generation 8 dangly parts in there. There he is. Let me just bring him up in there. Yep, there it is. Gen 8 dangly parts. When your Magikarp has reached its maximum capacity and can jump no higher, it is retired. So it basically shares the same tank with your Magikarp, but just in a different location. So it's fairly in the background yonder. And you can feed your Magikarp food, and it can grow up, and it can raise its jump power even more, which enables it to jump higher. As you defeat more opponents, your rank goes up, which enables you to catch more higher level, better looking Magikarp. And in some circumstances, you can even catch the golden Magikarp. Not sure what the chances of you getting one are. It kind of got a very easy free to play mechanic, but it's not the sort of it's not the sort of game I spend obsessive amounts of time on. Nor is
it just sounds like you're looking after a goldfish.
Yes, that's essentially it. Except the goldfish has multiple death scenarios. So I think I was showing Megan this game, and I think I got it to jump up and grab something, try and grab a berry.
Yep.
And it got snatched by a Pidgeotto. So that was over, and I had to move on to the next generation. That was the end of it. Yeah. That was the end of my shame. So I've had my shame, your shame, dangly parts, despair. What was the other one? Disappointment. I've had a bunch of not really crass but horribly named Magikarp. I do remember Paradis being a Magikarp name somewhere. It's just it lends so well to the thing the text lines. Um, there's not much to say. There's no multiplayer. It's a completely single player game. The league stuff is, well, it's league-ish stuff. It's not that crazy. Like there's a bunch of battles. That's it. There's some rewards, but yeah, I wouldn't call it exciting. I don't know who this appeals to. This doesn't quite appeal to me because I want some complexity in what I'm doing. And this doesn't offer any of that complexity. I'm just trying to see how far I can push the Magikarp, but I'm not playing it obsessively enough to fast forward that. I only check like what once every day. It's just a daily check. I don't I don't even go for extended periods of time. Whereas like one of the other mobile games I've been playing fairly obsessively for 2 years, and it's it just keeps me going. There's a lot of depth into it. This thing has none of that. Zero. 2 out of 10 would get for just a Magikarp. I am seriously just playing this to see what happens to it. There's really not much else that motivates me to play this. They've got in-app purchase options, right? And I don't know why. I don't know why you have in-app purchase options, but they're there. I guess it's for people that really want to.
Oh, big fans of Magikarp.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't know. Like this, it's got very little appeal. I'm just playing this to basically finish the main story, the main quest line, and that's it. Megan, have you picked up Magikarp Jump?
I have not.
Okay.
It does not interest me.
So you will not be picking this up in the future?
No.
Okay. Will you be picking
It
up
has not captured my attention.
Will you be picking up the next game we have in our IPL headline?
Maybe. So the next headline is Pokéland. Another new mobile game has been announced called Pokéland. It's pretty much Pokemon Rumble, but probably not also on 3DS. More information will surely be released closer to its launch date that explain how it's different. If it's different enough, probably. If it's just the exact same game with like some new Pokemon in it, probably not. I imagine that it'll have like a new plot as they do, but like overall these games have been roughly the same.
Yeah. So Pokéland, which is Pokemon Rumble. It looks a lot like Rumble. The models are from Rumble.
It's the other mobile game.
You know what though? It's got gacha mechanics.
Gotcha mechanics?
Yeah, so this comes out. Ooh, I have to translate this site. There's a promo on. Okay, so gacha mechanics. The way gacha mechanics work are, you get stuff you can redeem for a random draw, and the random draw gives you like whatever, say Pokemon in this case. So I'm actually trying to find a way to translate this.
Hasn't previous iterations of this game had something similar?
Not in terms of actual Pokemon. That's the thing. Pokemon Duel has the gacha mechanic where you have when you pay a certain amount, you can get a single draw or you can get a lot of draws with a guaranteed rarity. And I'm getting that vibe from here. I'm getting the vibe that you have to do gacha draws for stuff. There's a couple of things that I want to happen to Pokéland that I think you guys will agree with me in terms of this is just general improvements to Rumble that I wanted to see. The first thing is freaking, if I have a Pokemon, allow me to improve it to the point that it is massive and amazing and like, freaking awesome that way. Don't don't
Hmm.
freaking give it to me. Don't freaking give it to me in a form that I discard later because I find something more powerful.
But that's the way these games work, though. No Pokemon is kept for a long amount of time. You very quickly find stronger Pokemon, and you discard what you had before for those.
I
It's impractical to really invest in any one particular Pokemon in these games, at least until you're towards the end game and the leveling has slowed down a fair amount. That it's you actually keep certain Pokemon for longer.
Hmm.
okay. So apparently,
Otherwise, you're just putting all these resources into something that you will literally only keep for about 5 minutes.
they're doing a 10,000 person recruit test between the end of the month last week and this coming Friday for people who have Android version 4.4 or higher on their phones. Um,
Okay.
they've already reached capacity as of yesterday. No, the other day. As of Friday. So basically between May 31st and June 2nd, they already reached the 10,000
Almost surprised.
point capacity. Oh, this looks interesting. Um,
Hmm?
okay, so let me just see if I can full screen this sucker. But this screenshot, does that figure look familiar? Like, does that figure structure look familiar to you? There's the Gyarados on that side, right?
Hmm.
And that's a me on the other side.
And yeah, that is a me.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they include some sort of Miitomo functionality.
Oh,
in
I
this.
would be so happy if they included Miitomo functionality.
Hmm.
Okay, so
It would be interesting.
the thing is, so like since we've opened the discussion about the whole thing potentially not being a gotcha thing, my problem with it coming out and not having a gotcha mechanic is that it's not gonna hold my interest for very long because like the catch discard thing is great, but I do actually want to have a like the part of it is that I do have a certain Pokemon I'm attached to, and I want to grow those as opposed to like just catching and renewing everything until I have like a really strong thing. But like you said, it's like the whole way this thing works is that you get stronger and stronger Pokemon as you go around.
Yeah.
But if you don't include gacha, there's the potential that like they have to make their money off this somehow. This is gonna be a free to play app with some pay to play capabilities.
But
Yeah.
the way they did that in the previous game was that you had to spend gems to unlock new locations, and to get gems in any decent amount of time, you spent money to buy them.
Yeah, so my thing here is that like for the 3DS that sort of worked, but the mobile platform is different. And spending habits on the
But the
mobile
thing
platform
is, it
are
was designed for the mobile platform. The 3DS version, where it wasn't a free-to-play game, you had to buy it. It came with a certain amount of gems already
no,
to
yeah, but
cover that.
the download version still operated off the fact that this is the 3DS platform and you had limits set to it. Now it might be exactly that system. That would be I'd consider that lazy on their part because there's just zero innovation if you're going to that level.
That's true, but at the same time, the game design itself looks like it looks exactly the same.
Yeah,
So
but
I'm not expecting something
I mean,
highly innovative.
it's the same thing with like Miitomo versus Nintendo Life, right? Like
Yeah.
Nintendo Life has um like Nintendo Life has a like a different set of like it operates on a slightly different set of circumstances when it comes to this stuff. But Mitomo really features a lot of like pay to play elements you expect from a mobile space. Like this is stuff.
Yeah.
This is par for the course for what I pay in terms of or what I would pay in terms of the market. And again, this is going to be co-developed with a company whose whole thing is to try and integrate a the pay-to-play system in the into the mechanics. As far as selecting stages would be concerned, again, I'm counting on an energy mechanic and not a selection mechanic to control this, because like in the 3DS game, you had a selection mechanic, and you had to, you could pour money in, or you could pour things in, and basically pitch the rarity on stuff. Here, I would imagine it's an energy mechanic, and to regain energy, you had to use a currency, and to get more of that currency, you had to pay money, and you can use that currency for other things. But it's down to how do they want to implement this. I could see that they're testing now, so clearly they're at the point where they've got the idea of what you want to do. There are 6 islands, there are 52 different stages, 134 kinds of Pokemon, 15 floors on a champion tower. So this is where I think it's actually going to be an energy-based system, rather than a select and play system, because if you have to pay to play to get to the upper levels, people are gonna quit instead of churning. This isn't, like I said, the whole point of this is you wanna have a good in-game economy for this sort of thing. Pokemon Go is like Pokemon Go does it. It integrates it with the system. If you want to buy supplies, go ahead and buy supplies. Pokemon Duel does it really well. It's the same way as Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. If you want to buy more Pokemon to build your deck up with, then you pay money. That makes sense. Fire Emblem Heroes does the same thing. If you want more heroes or a better chance at getting stuff, you pay for it. It runs off... the gacha system has been one of the most lucrative business models ever implemented in mobile gaming. I think it would be silly for them not to consider it in any form. And remember that this is a Pokemon Company International. These are the same guys who put in an energy and gacha mechanism in Pokemon Shuffle.
Ooh. Okay.
That operates differently from the that operates slightly differently from the 3DS version. So the potential is there. I mean, they could come at this ass backwards, but I don't think it's really gonna. I don't know if it's gonna like really grow if they go through it with the standard standard 3DS stuff. So you can strengthen Pokemon by using gear and Poké Dollars at the facility on the event island. So you can boost them up to a certain point. You can increase the total. Yeah, I'm starting to look at the FAQ, and it's looking like the primary unlock mechanism is the same as Rumble World. So it's it's a diamond exchange kind of thing, but it does have an upgrade path. You are tied to your Nintendo account. If you start it, all right, that's interesting. Yeah, I'm interested to see how it runs. If it runs exactly like Pokemon Rumble World, and there's no customization or improvement, I'm gonna be iffy about this, because one of my...
I expect some kind of improvement, like some amount of change, but the question is whether or not it's going to be enough to really differentiate the games. Like, what is stopping me from just going back to the version of this I have on my 3DS and playing that instead?
That's true. You know what would differentiate this a lot? Multiplayer.
It would be interesting to see like some.
That was a fun feature of the original game.
Like even asynchronous multiplayer, I'm happy with. If you have to defeat bosses or do challenges where you go in at relatively the same time and you try and take down the boss or sections of the boss. That would be cool.
That's certainly a feature that seems to be relatively untapped in mobile markets.
It's
Like I know Pokemon Go has for now, a very basic multiplayer feature in which people fighting the same gym can interact or cooperate in a way. But aside from that, I can't really think of any other major mobile games that has that kind of interaction. And I think that would capture my interest if I could actually play with people.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, right? Mobile games have been taking advantage of this thing for a while. Like I've played mobile games in various forms. A lot of the Japanese and Korean mobile games, and you have raid situations. And raid situations are timed events where you go in concurrently, you whap at the enemy, and you collectively bring an enemy's life down.
That's true that's a thing, but I don't find that style very interesting.
Yeah. And I think that's actually going to be the way they're going to implement legendaries in Go.
And that's like Pokemon Go though. You actually have to be in the same physical space, and I don't expect that to change for legendaries. I think for fighting those down, it's going to be the way they promoted originally, where a specific Pokemon would show up in a city, the way they demonstrated with Mewtwo in the one of the trailers.
Yeah.
Where everyone then joins in to fight it, but you're still physically there. Like you're not just it's not a World of Warcraft kind of raid thing. It's more like playing Mario Kart with a friend beside you, sort of thing. Like your phone is mobile. You can take it to the people you want to play with, you know? Whereas I find, even though Duel Links, the Yu-Gi-Oh one, and the Pokemon one that's there at the moment, what's it called? With the statues?
Which one?
You mentioned it earlier. It sounds like Duel Links.
Oh, Pokemon Duel.
That's it. So even though games like Duel Links and Pokemon Duel have that multiplayer online feature, I find I lose interest in playing those games very quickly. Like I haven't turned these things on in yonks, and both of those games I enjoy, but it's difficult. As much as you and I, Gino, can actually sit in the same room and fight each other, it's kind of difficult to set it up. And I find it's not really that much interaction.
Yeah.
If you think about it. Like, we can verse each other and that's about it. There's not much else to it. So if this game could implement a kind of connect local and then go through a dungeon style of play. Like, we enjoyed that a lot for the version that was on the Wii, I think it was, Wii U?
Mm-hmm.
One of them. That game that was on there, the very first one, that it had that, and that was interesting. Like, we played that a lot.
Oh, is that the 4-player one?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, but that worked because there's 4 of you on the screen.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be 4 people. I'm just saying that kind of interaction.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, like, I guess what I want to see on this one is just, like, cooperative takedown efforts, maybe. For Pokemon Rumble, asynchronous raid events. I would do asynchronous raid events. Yep, sign me up. Asynchronous raid events are a great way to get people from like as much as cool as it would be to get multiple people to try and take down something. If you're not doing it in generally groups of 4 are like your critical space for mobile games that use synced multiplayer. Asynchronous multiplayer just allows you to get a whole bunch more people into the fray, which I would like to see. Get a 30-person raid going with people and just get them to coordinate over the space of like an hour. So basically, if something's happening, then if there's an event happening, then I can call on Katie, I can call on you, I can call on Rika, I can call on Who else am I going to peg? I could call in Benji. I could call in Nigel. We could get the whole we could get a whole group together, and take it down, even though we're not physically in the same space.
Yeah,
Um.
but it
Oh,
would still nice to have physical same space interaction.
yeah. I get that. I think that's gonna happen for Pokemon Go, not so much for for Pokeland. Pokemon Go, I think a lot of emphasis has been to try and get people together in the same spot, to do the whole that whole bit. I remember that Niantic was teasing that they were going to really change how gyms and gym battles were gonna be accomplished.
That's
So
good because it does kind of need
yeah.
improvement.
I think I've seen something where Niantic explained what they do to people they found that have that use bots. Um, and so I think what they do is that they blind people's accounts from seeing anything more than common Pokemon. Yeah. So basically, it reduces your visibility up to the point where you only see like the trash Pokemon. So it's just it eventually turns into Pidgeys and Rattatas the whole way through.
Yeah.
But yeah, no,
No.
I would like to see event legendaries. They said they were gonna try and bring event legendaries this year. I would like to see redone gyms. I would also like to see third gen kick in before the end of the year. But
I would like to see fucking battles and trading.
oh yeah, that's true. I wonder if they've updated or anything. I know they've they've been exercising a lot of stuff. I think in the US there's this major thing going on now, with Pokemon Go. They're starting to do some major Pokestop integration. But anyway, yeah, I think it's still got a larger player count than Ingress at this point.
Probably. But who knows?
Yep. Anyway. Where else? Is that our last one? Pokeland. Yep. So the mobile landscape for Pokemon is getting saturated. I'm not saying that it's like reached peak saturation. Clearly, these various games are designed for different people. Duel is designed for another, like a different type of player than whichever poor sod is stuck playing Magikarp Jump, versus Pokeland's player base versus Pokemon Go, and I believe they're all handled by different companies as well. What would be interesting is, like, eventually, maybe in a few years, maybe a decade, seeing, Pokemon games properly transition onto mobile networks. Onto a mobile app. Like, mainline games. That would be...
I don't think they're gonna do that. Not so long as they're making their own portable consoles.
Yeah, but remember, Pokemon doesn't... Nintendo doesn't wholly own the Pokemon Company International.
I know.
They've obviously got a vested interest to keep making it for their handhelds, but they've already shown that they can seriously diversify by releasing through mobile platforms. And I mean, this is now where Nintendo sees the future. It's not where it's banking its future. It's clearly banking on the Switch being a super successful hybrid console. But it's not the only thing it's investing in. Fire Emblem Heroes and Fire Emblem Heroes Mitomo and Pokemon Go are clear examples. But yeah, it's interesting.
As long as they play the cards right in the future, I still see them about, I would say.
It's been studied. It's like this is stuff. This sort of consumer behavior that leads people to buy and patronize Pokemon and all of the other stuff. This is stuff that they know about. This is stuff that they this is stuff that they know their business. They know how to appeal to kids. I mean, they're appealing to adults still. Like, right? We're going to visit 8 Pokemon centers. Jeebus, there's no decent reason why we need to visit all 8 Pokemon centers, but, like, we are compelled. So, they clearly...
Kinda willing to do that.
I'd visit all 11 if I had the time, and the money, and the time. But I think it's one of those things where you just... you know they're doing something and it's working. And you don't entirely hate yourself for it because it's really cool.
Yeah.
Alright, so let's talk, now that we're done with the external headlines, let's just briefly talk about the June event, which is not Knights of the Realm. Oh my god, what did I do?
It's the first chapter story event, isn't it? First
chapter storyline missions for 2017, the first of 2 storyline missions months for 2017. In summary, the best and brightest league champions from Johto to Kalos come over to Challenger Island, and personal drama erupts between the 3 founders of the IPL. So that's there is a comic. Go to the IPL landing page. Look up the comic. Read it there. It's funny. There is some like butt action in one of the pages. Didn't intend on that, but it like I can't stop thinking about it now.
I apologize sincerely.
No, you don't. That was some epic butt action. So frankly, epic butt action. Thanks very much. It looks really good.
It's just I have looked through it. I do feel sorry for Kamata because I don't understand the situation of what's happened between the two, but I still do feel sorry for him that he's like moved on, but the other guy hasn't.
Yeah, I mean, okay, yep. That's exactly where we want it to be. Thank you. So you've gone through the comic, you've seen everybody in. So the way it works for this mission is that every work you put in where you're interacting with anybody of the arrivals, that counts as an interaction point, and that builds up a bar. And if you fill up the bar and exceed the bar, then it goes swimmingly. It's really good, great. You get double points, by the way, if you figure out who arrived in the airport that Kamada didn't greet.
It's not hard.
It's not hard.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it's not hard. It's fairly easy to pick. So here's the thing, right? Hold on.
Oh dear, what is he getting now?
Okay, so I have Bizant's jacket. And there's a really funny story involving the jacket.
Oh no.
Yeah, so I put the jacket on. I looked at the full-length mirror, and this was at work. I found the jacket, and I was like, I gotta get that jacket. Got the jacket, put it on at work, and then pulled the same pose that Bizant pulls in the comic, with the little butt sticky outy thing. And right as I'm doing that, some guy walks into the bathroom. So that happened.
Awkward. Awkward.
So yeah, read the comic, have a look through. The event lasts until the end of the month, so that should be Friday, June 30th. And then after that, and I'm just gonna announce it now. After that, it's ranking season 2. So if you saw ranking season 1 and thought, hey, I wasn't able to qualify or win anything or compete in anything for that one, guess what? Second chance comes in. It comes in
July.
Comes in July. There will be a non-storyline, non-major impacting story coming in through August, and then September is the second chapter of the storyline mission. So look forward to that. And the second part of the storyline mission should be okay because it'll coincide with Bee and Megan being away.
Mm.
So that's gonna be a task, but it
Yeah.
should be fine. All right, we are early. Okay,
So
so
what do we do?
well, there wasn't that much to report on. I mean, like Pokemon, Pokemon Center Japan aren't really like doing major promotions or anything right now. So, like, I don't know what you're gonna like. I don't know what else is gonna be brought in. There has been a I believe that the Tohoku Pokemon Center is going to be reopening, so hold on. Where is the Tohoku shop? Is this the one in Sendai? Yes, this is the one in Sendai. So the Sendai one has been closed for a while, and it is reopening. And as part of the reopening, they are bringing out new merchandise, some super cute ones. Featuring the mascots of Pokemon Center Sendai, which is Pikachu, Victini, and Rowlet. And the annoying thing about this is there is a special Victini that you can get for Sun and Moon, but it ends on September 3rd. But yeah, they also give out keychains, and I believe the bags for Pokemon Center Tohoku are unique. And also, if you go to Tohoku and the distribution is still on, they will have a Pokemon card with Pikachu dressed up in a Rowlet outfit.
No.
And let's it's stupidly adorable. But yeah. What I would say is like because of the way it's. I mean, like the Sendai one is a special one. It had to close because of the Hoku earthquake, and it's been remodeling.
Yeah.
So, like the fact that it's opening and they're bringing all these really pretty stuff. Here we go.
Oh, that is adorable.
That's so cute. They've changed the layout again.
It's so cute.
It is so cute. I would like that card. But yeah, it's
I just remember something. There is an online competition going about, and if you entered that, you would get the Mega Stones for the Pokémon starters.
Oh yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was.
Besides that, do you guys want to see my Alolan Vulpix that I have?
Show us.
Very cute.
Very cute.
Yeah, the stats are almost perfect apart from one.
I also remember that there is an Eevee thing out now where they've redesigned the Pokemon dolls for the Eevee Pokemon dolls.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta show you guys something. I know I shown you in the photo, but I really gotta show you this in the podcast. Give me a moment.
Okay, while she's loading that, I'm going to load the image of the redesigned Pokedolls. If I remember what the file name was, there it is. Oh, cool. So these are the 9 redesigned Eevee and Evolution Pokemon dolls.
I like Vaporeon.
I like that they've exaggerated the ears. I think that's really cute. I would like to have some, and by some all. I know I already have Pokemon Eevee dolls in abundance, but you know, why not?
Well, look what I got, guys.
Woo! Hello. That's cool.
It's a life-size Eevee.
Oh yeah, the life-sized ones have come out. So are you gonna try and get any of the life-sized evolutions? Because they look massive.
Possibly. I call this one Vicky.
Oh really?
Mm-hmm.
That's just going to get confusing.
Yeah.
Not really, because well, I cuddle this like every night. So
Okay, is that the only difference?
It kind of
Okay, all right. Nah.
your butt. I probably might be thinking of probably getting the life-size Flareon.
Hmm.
It looks so fluffy.
Okay, I am.
But I'm still glad I got this Eevee. This. Oh, I was gonna say I got this one at MCM Expo on Sunday.
Oh, cool. How much did it go for?
£45.
Oh God, that's like nearly 100 Australian.
That's a lot.
Bus.
Worth it.
All right, so I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to figure out where this thing because I'm just finding all of these things that I know is gonna happen soon that I may not be able to get to, and it's dry. It's going to. The sense of FOMO is real. It is very real. All right, so that's the design for the Pokemon With You train. That's going to be operating in operating in Miyagi Prefecture around the time that we're there. The interiors look absolutely amazing. They've got designs of little Pokeballs and everything, and every chair is shaped like a Pikachu.
Very nice.
And I've just the logistics of it just do not look right to me. It just might be too impractical to get there. But oh man, that's just in the pain. So yeah, that's right. Anyway.
Yeah, for me, hopefully sooner or later I will get my trainer card done.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Yes. Hopefully.
So we'll see how we go with Miss Clues. It'll probably be a headline of its own when you publish something. So
I would definitely make Honey Jade as an NPC in the IPL, to be honest. So.
There's been a whole bunch of stuff. The rumor mill for Pokemon Stars is kicking up again because E3 is happening.
And soon, probably. What was it like this weekend? No, next weekend. Next weekend. I think it's next weekend.
It's it's next week. It starts from Wednesday 14th of June until Friday 16th of June. So let's hold on for another couple of weeks and see if Nintendo actually has something to say. After the look at the Stars promotion, I'm not holding out much hope, but things can still change. It can still be pretty. Anyway.
It would be nice, I would think, but like you said, we shall see. We shall see.
Yeah. So, yeah, Anyway. All right, so we'll leave it at that. We'll come back in IPLcast 73, and hopefully we'll have something really crazy to talk about in terms of just stuff.
Yes.
More Pokemon news. We may have more plushies. You don't know. All right. So until then, hold tight. We will be back in a fortnight. Fingers crossed. And hopefully if there's some major Pokemon news that drops within the next fortnight, we will definitely be talking about it. All right. Okay. So, we'll leave it at that. We'll catch you in a fortnight. Until then, have a good time, and we'll see you later.
Bye.
Bye. Bye,